Alright, isn't time so fast? Hello minions, we are on part 2 of Matilda, chapters 7 to 11. Let's get started. Ba-bam, bam, ba-bam, ba-bam, ba-bam. Chapter 7 is the perfect place to start our new section as we are finished with learning about Matilda's horrendous first few lives with her family. Now we start the new section. Her school life. Her teacher is Miss Honey, the most wonderful teacher any first grader could ever have. She is caring and has a way with children. All the kids seem to love her.
Class, how do you spell?
Miss Trunchbull, the headmistress, or the principal if you're from the States, is a whole entire different story. But we'll get more on her later. For Matilda's first week of school, the class assignment is to learn the 2 times table. Most of you are probably past grade 1, unless you are a genius yourself who can read this book before grade 1. You probably know the 2 times table. And if you don't, you should probably learn that it's not that hard.
I be flossing.
Now, the times table usually goes up to 9, maybe 12, meaning we usually stop memorizing after 2 times 9. But Miss Honey realizes that Matilda can go much higher. Not only that, Matilda never even learned to do this. When she is asked how she does this, Matilda answers, "I don't quite know. It's just that I don't find it very difficult to multiply one number by another." So this is just natural to her. By this, we can know that Matilda is just a born genius. She doesn't even need a teacher. It's almost like a superpower. And we call this an innate ability, a talent in some people are just born with. However, there is a problem. The other students, like Lavender, says, well, that's just not fair. How come Matilda can do it, but she can't? Miss Honey is put into a difficult situation where she really wants to get to know Matilda better because she's so interesting, but at the same time, she needs to make sure the other kids are learning. Question 1. How does Miss Honey solve this problem? What does she do to make sure that all the kids continue to learn, but at the same time, she can learn more about Matilda? Ba-bam. Now, in chapter 8, Miss Honey goes straight to Miss Trunchbull's study to ask her to bump up Matilda to a higher class where she can get the proper education she deserves.
But I don't belong here!
Interestingly, before she goes up to the study, it is mentioned that Miss Honey is actually terrified of Miss Trunchbull, but at this moment, she feels very confident. Why do you think this is? Why do you think she is suddenly feeling confident to face her fears? Ba-bam. However, her excitement is instantly denied. When Miss Honey brings up the name Matilda to Miss Trunchbull immediately says that Matilda is trouble. You should not get close to her. Miss Trunchbull says that she has already talked to Matilda's father, and Matilda's father says she is a terrible, troubled child. Now, question 3. What is Miss Honey's reaction to this statement? Does she believe it, or does she not believe the fact that Matilda is a troubled child? And please tell me why you think so. Ba-bam. Up until now, Matilda's relationship has pretty much been with adults. We haven't seen too much interaction with other peers. But in chapter 10, we begin to understand how Matilda makes friends. In fact, it's interesting to see how such a genius child is able to talk and make friends with normal kids. So, I want to ask this question. Why is it that even though Matilda is a genius, she is completely different from other kids? How is she able to become friends with all her peers? Ba-bam. In the same chapter, we find out about Miss Trunchbull's punishment. And it is the most ridiculous punishment ever. Throwing children over the playground fence. In this particular part of the book, the victim is Amanda, and the reason is for having pigtails. What's wrong with that, you may ask? Well, Miss Trunchbull just doesn't like pigtails. So, as a punishment, Miss Trunchbull holds the tied up hair, spins her around, and throws her over the fence. Now we are in the 4th and final question. How in the world could an adult, especially a teacher, get away with doing something like this? How is she never caught by the police? Why has no parent ever confronted this problem? Leave your answers in the comments below. Ba-bam. Alright, thank you so much for watching, guys. That is it for today's video, part 2 of Matilda. Like always, answer all the questions in the comments below, or click in the link in the description to get your free worksheet. I will see you next week for part 3, chapters 12 to 16. Bye bye. Ba bam bam. Ba bam ba bam. Ba bam bam. Ba bam ba bam. Ba bam bam. Ba bam ba bam. Ba bam.